we know that both Yitzhak and Rivka prayed to have a child. V'yater Yitzhak l'Hashem lenochach ishto. And they prayed on two sides. Yitzhak on one side and Rivka on the other. And the pasuk both prayed for a child. V'yater lo Hashem v'tar Rivka ishto. And it seems that Yitzhak's prayer was answered and Rivka became pregnant. So v'yater lo, so he said he prayed very hard. Rashi says here, v'yater lo v'lo la, that he was answered and she was not her. Because Einu dome tfilat sadik ben rasha tfilat sadik ben sadik. Lefichach lo v'lo la. Because since he was sadik ben sadik, his tefillah was answered first, was answered before hers, and she was a tzaddik bat rasha. Because Lavan, they were Rishaim. So his prayer was answered and not hers. Now that's quite difficult to understand, because if she's a Sadiq Bat Rasha, a Baal Teshuva who comes from family who are not so good, Baal Teshuva b'makom she Baal Teshuva omed en Sadikim Givorim Yochalim la'amod. She should have more merit, and therefore her tefillah, she came from a bad background. She didn't come from Sadiqim. So her effort was much greater, and therefore reward should be more. So why shouldn't a prayer be heard before him? There's a question in the poskim, what happens, what sort of shliach tzibur you should take. Whether you should take a shliach tzibur who comes from a bad background but he's a tzaddik, or you should take a shliach tzibur who comes from the Rosh holds that you take from a far background brings a pasuk for it. So we see that the tefillah of someone who comes from a far background, yes, from background which is not so great, should be answered before. So how can we say here that he was answered because he's Sadiq bin Sadiq and she wasn't because she came from she was Sadiq bin Rasha? Maybe we can say that the Chazal say Enu Dome, it's not similar, because really they were both praying for a child. And this we have to know, that a Tzaddik bin Tzaddik, when he prays for a child, his musagim, his concepts of what child he wants is much greater than a person who's a Tzaddik bin Rasha. Because they haven't got that great kasab, even though they're Baal Teshuva, they have great merit. But when it comes to praying for a child, you ask them, it's like so and so and so and so. But the one who comes from the Sadiq bin Sadiq, his concept of what a child should be is much higher than that of Sadiq bin Rasha. And this is what the pasuk says. He was answered. Doesn't mean in any other prayer she might have been answered before. But when it came to this child, since his concept of what he was asking, what sort of child he wanted, was much greater than hers, his tefillah was answered, and that's why he had a wonderful son like Yaakov Avinu, who was very great. So tefillah of Tzaddik bin Rasha, maybe it'll be answered quicker. But in this instance, where they were talking about a specific type of child, that was the Sadiq bin Sadiq had a greater idea, and his concept of a child was much greater than hers. Shabbat Shalom.